Hello guys. This video, um, I almost wish that I had been able to record myself last night, or it was probably early morning hours. Sometimes I just kind of wake up, can't go back to sleep, and stuff starts going through my head and everything. And this is a topic that was going through my head, and I was just going through it so wonderfully, and I'm just like, dang, I need to put this on. I need to put this on video. So hopefully I can kind of remember how it came to me. But a little bit of background is that y'all know I go, like everybody, I go around social media, different platforms and so forth, and I listen to podcasts and listen to people and everything. And I do get and understand that it's social media. You can't take everything literally and all that kind of stuff. I know that. However, sometimes when you hear the same rhetoric, a lot of times you have to take notice. So there's a lot of it's really strange too. There's rhetoric by some men where they talk about masculinity and they talk about male, female, all that kind of stuff. And what's crazy to me, I guess it ain't crazy to them, but what's crazy to me is that these men have an idea of themselves, usually, and what the word masculine means. Now, I put my notebook over here. Let me pause real quick because I want to read a couple of definitions that I did write down. So just 1 second. Okay, guys. So these men, I guess, I don't know, almost have their own definition of masculinity. I mean, that's almost a whole new argument. But anyway, these men are priding themselves on literally saying they're not emotional, they are not anything feminine, which they're calling stuff like crying, expressing themselves, showing emotion of any sort, being soft, almost being kind, being so like anything literally gentle or not hard, harsh, brash, violent, loud, whatever, as being not manly, not male, not masculine, and not them at all. Like there's this one particular guy, and this I'm like, man, is this guy high or what? But there's this one particular guy who, him and another man or two on his podcast were up there just like, I'm all man. Like there's nothing feminine. There ain't gonna ever be nothing feminine in me. I am only all man. I ain't nothing even close to being feminine. And he was talking about things like emotion, crying, softness. Like that's what he was talking about. And I thought to myself, my gosh, 111. That's my number. But anyway, it's just, it's crazy because dude was just literally like, he has like that other side of emotion or whatever for him, just like he don't have it. And he was proud of that. And the host and the other guys that talk like that, and not even just on his platform, there are men who will talk about emotion. They'll talk about being, they'll admit to being emotional to an extent. Anytime it gets to them too feminine, too soft, or crying or anything like that, showing any kind of what they perceive as weakness, they stop right there. They stop absolutely right there, and they just don't go any further. They won't admit it or anything. So, with that being the case, I want to talk today about stoic men and emotional women. That's what I want to talk about. There is such a negative connotation on women, period, but on emotions, period. They are looked at as a bad thing when they literally come from inside of us. We are literally born and hardwired with emotions to react to things in certain kinds of ways. Like I'm not even really sure who ever demonized emotions or made it a bad thing. Probably some man, because of his limited understanding of something, and thinking that just being just completely hard all the time and show no emotion is masculine. But I mean, really, if you really want to get down to it, that just almost really shows a form of emotional, how would I say it? I want to say mental illness. That's what I really want to say. Because how can you possibly think you can go through your life without showing emotion? And I also think a lot of these men who carry that type of ideology don't know what emotions mean. Like they don't understand what emotions mean and what it's for and how they work. I really don't think they do. So let's talk about, like I said, emotional women and stoic men. Now, I wrote down the definition of stoic. I'm not going to go too far into it because I want to go ahead and get into my topic, but it says that stoic is a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Now, a lot of men think that that's what manhood is. You know what I'm saying? That they think that's what it is. If a person, but especially a man, is hiding feelings, hiding emotions, things are happening to him, painful life is lifing, and he's not showing emotion, he's just being just hard and unemotional and, holding his feelings. That's a person that's either, it's going to do two things. It's going to do probably both things. It's going to, first of all, drive him, especially depending on how severe that situation was in his life, it's going to cause him to form some type of real bad emotional situation or mental situational outcome from that, or it's going to physically even make him sick. You cannot have life's traumatic events. This life is hard. This life is hard. Believe me, I have asked the universe more than once, why did I choose to come here? Like, what in the world did I need to come and live this experience and go? Like, I get it, I see it, I understand and all that, but man, for what? You know what I'm saying? But apparently there are experiences that need to take place in our soul, and as we evolve and so forth. There's experiences that we need to experience. And so that's the reason why. But it is hard living this life. Very, very hard. And it's even harder when you don't have an outlet. It's hard when you don't, you just trying to, mom die or a child dies or you lose your home, you lose your career. Something traumatic happens to your body. Someone does something to you. Something happens to someone else that you know and love. Like, it's so many different things that can happen in this life that when you're trying to be stoic and when you're trying to not show emotions and not show that, oh, I'm good, I'm all right. It's not true. You're not. You're silently going through some shit that you need to talk to people about. You can't be okay just holding all of that within you. And eventually, like I said, it's going to make you sick. Because you can sit and squelch it and squelch it and squelch it and don't talk about it and can't nobody bring it up around you. You can do all that you want. It's still here. It's still in your mind. You can't control it. That's one of the things in life we can't control is our mind. Because our mind going to go wherever, whenever, whoever is going to think about whatever. It is a challenge. And I would challenge you to try and control your mind. Try to do it for 5 minutes and see how hard it is. It is almost impossible. It can be done. It takes a lot of discipline. Discipline that the average Joe of us, the average ones of us, we don't have that type of discipline because we don't sit and train to do that. Like, we don't sit and think about doing that. But it can be done. But the average person just sitting around trying to withhold their emotions and be this strong brick wall. It don't work. It don't work. You get stressed out. You get sick. Things start happening in your body. Because at the end of the day, it needs to come out. It's going to come out. That is one of the things about crying. Crying is a release. Crying literally makes you feel better after you do it. You can call it whatever. You can mark it as weak or whatever. Crying makes you feel better. You may not even want to. I wouldn't consider myself a crier. I don't cry a lot. Not that I don't necessarily cry easily. It depends. It really just depends. But on average, I don't just sit around and just cry. Now, when I was, in my, a little bit younger days and would go through hormonal things and PMS and all that, I would cry every single damn month. Every time it was time for my cycle, I'm crying about something. And I didn't like that either, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, because it just makes you, it makes you that way, But anyway, that's one of the things that's a part of life. It's there to help you release. It's there to help you grow. It's there to help you see things differently. A lot of times after you cry and after you get that stuff out, you can actually think a little bit better. You can actually sit around and be like, man, you know what? This and that or that and this or whatever, and you're just able, it's almost like it clears your mind. It really does. And I'm going to say it like this before I get into it a little more, but I'm going to say this. I also think that's why women, since we want to, be labeled as the emotional ones, when we're all equally pretty emotional, just express it differently. We women are a lot more, we have the ability more so to work those situations out because we have cried, we have released, we have a lot of times talked to somebody, you know what I'm saying, about our situation. And so therefore, we don't have all of that on us. We're able to move a little bit freer because we're not bogged down with all that, because we have released it somewhat. In any kind of capacity, we've released it. But when you hold on to that, you're trying to be a man, you're trying to be strong, you're trying to, that's all right, I got this, I got that. You know, and it's okay to say that and believe that, but if you really don't have it, which normally you probably don't, this is why men get sick. This is why a lot of men get heart disease. This is why a lot of men are up here. That's why so many of them are so full of anger. Maybe if they just cry that shit out, they might be all right. Maybe they wouldn't go blow stuff up. Maybe they wouldn't go and unalive people if they just cry that stuff out and go talk to somebody. But anyway, Stoic men and emotional women. Let me talk about it now from the female perspective. From the female perspective, let's say relationship. You're in a relationship where you're expressive in your emotions. I'm going to say it like that. You're able to cry, you're able to feel, you're able to talk about stuff, you're in touch with your feelings. You know what's going on in your head and your heart and your mind. You know that this is connected to this, and because that happened, this is causing you to have those kind of you're in tune with yourself, okay? A lot of times that is more of a female thing than a male thing. So a woman comes to you, your woman comes to you, and she's a regular everyday woman. She's a woman, okay? And I don't know. Let's say some stuff is going on at her job. People are bullying, people are jealous, people trying to jock for her position or trying to make her jock for a position. You know, or maybe she's being overlooked for a position that she's completely qualified for. Maybe she's had years of experience. They're bringing in new people. Just all kinds of trouble going on at her job. It's hard for her to get anybody to really listen to her, to take her seriously. And so it's just getting to her. It's getting to her. She's really starting to be like, you know, I don't know if I need to stay at this company, if I need to continue on. I've given, 10, 15 years here. I've gotten a place here. And new management come, or even old management, because old management can be full of shit too. But you're just having a hard time, like a really, really hard time. And so your dilemma is, do I need to just pack up all my stuff, move on, get another job, find another company, try to find, better pay, but, just, should I do that, or should I just stand still, endure it, deal with it, go through corporate, try to take necessary steps for things to be done or to change or whatever, voice my complaints, voice my concern, and just stay and just try to thug it out? Which one do I do? So she comes to you, Mr. Stoic, and she's going through that, and she's stressed out, and yeah, she feels like she want to cry, like, yeah. Every day in the car, she gets in the car and feel like she want to freaking cry, and she probably does. Come home to you, and she wants to talk about it and whatever. And yeah, she will probably start crying about it, because that's how serious it is to her, for her. And you're literally just, and she's talking to you, and she's trying to help you understand and help you to understand her side and why she feels the way she feels and everything. And your thing is, you're literally just a wall. You're literally just, you don't have no advice. You don't have no, one of the things that I really think about men, this is one of the things that came to me last night. I think emotions scare men. I think female women emotions scare men. And especially a man who's trying to play stoic or whatever. I think it causes that stoic standpoint to get shaken, and he just like, oh my god, like what do I, she crying, she's emotional, she need a hug, she like, what do I do, how do I, you know what, let me bring this up. It be stuff that just comes to my mind. I remember, I may have heard this a couple years ago now. It was a man, black man, not that it matters, but it was this black man, and he said that his friend came to him because his wife was upset and needed to talk and whatever. And it kind of like the scenario I'm bringing out. Her just having a hard time at work and just whatever. And so she came to him. And she was doing, like I said, crying and upset and the whole thing. And he said he left. But he called his friend and needed his friend to tell him what to do. And the friend, this is so crazy to me, but the friend say he told him like, dude, you should have hugged your wife. You should have talked to your wife. Like, you should have listened to your wife. Like, that's what you do. Like, and what gets me is I don't even understand as a human being how that's hard for you to know that you need to do. Now, I'm going to be a little bit transparent here. I'm not, and I think it was because of how I was raised. My mom, I'm going to be honest, my mom really didn't give me a bunch of hugs. Like, she really didn't. She stopped when I was kind of young, about 8, 9 years old. I remember that. And it wasn't because she didn't love me. It wasn't because she didn't care. That's kind of how she was. And plus she was dealing with some other stuff that I'm not going to go into here now. It wasn't no drugs or nothing. But she was going through other stuff. And I look at myself, and in some ways I'm kind of the same way. Like, sometimes a situation or something will happen and I'll go back and I'll be like, man, I should have hugged someone, or I should have, said such and such to them, or maybe if I had touched them or whatever. But I think it's because, especially with strangers, I'm not good with, I don't like being hugged and touched by strangers. Now when it's family, of course it's a little bit different, and I will, but that is not necessarily the first thing that comes to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like I said, it's because that wasn't how I was raised and made to feel, I don't know, like it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So we do have those things where we carry on from how we were raised. And so it is harder for some of us. So that's the point that I'm making. So some of the men who are like that, yeah, maybe they didn't get hugs. Maybe they didn't get soft talking to. Maybe they didn't, maybe people just told them, boy, get on the butt, get out of my face, leave me alone. Quit acting like a little sissy. Quit acting like a punk. Quit being a bitch, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot to men. It really does. Especially black men. It happens a lot. And so that kind of stuff will cause you to lose connection with your emotions somewhat, because you feel like, oh, well, shoot, they ain't gonna do nothing to tell me to suck it up, get up, suck it up, and go on back outside and play, whatever. And so you learn those kind of coping mechanisms. But when you are married or in a relationship or something like that with someone that you love, care about, whatever, it's not good to do that, because a woman that is open and free with her emotions and in tune with her emotions, and a man who is practicing this stoic whatever, or that's just how he is, when she comes to you, here she is, this emotional bag, here you are, the wall, and she comes to you with all of this, and like I said, I think it scares a lot of men. because it brings about feelings and emotions and so forth in them that they don't know what to do with. Yeah, I forgot my microphone. I'm probably finna sound different right now. I forgot my microphone, and so now I have it. And hopefully y'all can hear that the trash men are outside. Ooh, that's loud. I hope y'all don't hear that too much. Anyway, so it's really hard because she's coming, this emotional person, and this guy it's like she just hitting the wall. She just hitting the wall of no feeling, no emotions, no nothing. And you think that, oh, I'm being strong. You think, oh, I'm being, you know, I'm not going to, we both can't break down. You know what I'm saying? I've heard men say that we both can't be emotional or whatever. But no one's telling you to cry with her or whatever, even though if you did, it would be fine. But no one's saying cry with her. But I'm also saying she needs a place to lay her head, to lay on your chest, she needs a solid place. So that part is good and right and true. But she also needs you to be soft enough. Let me tell you how to handle that situation, man. She needs you to be soft and in tuned enough to be able to say something like, first of all, to hug her. First of all, to hug her. Or grab her hand. To listen. Not to say, oh, well, you being too emotional, and I hope you ain't doing that at work, and, for you to say, oh, well, why you letting that get to you, and why you crying about it, and, anything insensitive like that. You know what I'm saying? Expecting her to be like you. That's not good. Hold her hand. Rub her back. Or hug her. Just hold her. That's pretty much literally what she needs at that point. Just hold her. Listen to her. You don't have to have the answer. And I think that is an issue with a lot of men, where men feel like and think that when the woman comes to them with a problem or issue or anything, that they got to have the answers. And that's not necessarily the case. A lot of times we women just need to get it out. We don't necessarily need an answer or solution or whatever. Advice is good. I mean, like me, I love advice. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind. But some women literally, seriously just want to vent without you saying anything. You got to know your woman. So once you become that softer place, that understanding place or whatever for her, let me tell you what's okay. Woman, to men out there, let me tell you what's okay. After you hold her, after you acknowledge her, after you sit down with her, after you tell her, baby, let's come over here and let's just talk about it. Tell me what's going on. You know what I'm saying? After you do that and she does that, it's okay for you not to know an answer. It's okay for you not to have an answer for her. What you do in that situation is you sit her down and you say, you know what, babe? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what your solution might be, but I believe in you. Or I believe you're going to come up with the right solution. Or you could come to me anytime and we can talk about it. I'm here for you. I want to listen to you. I want to understand what's going on with you. But I don't have the answer. I don't know what you should do. Let me tell you something. That honesty and the fact that he at least listened and he gave her a shoulder or a chest or a hand to her or whatever as a point of connection, and to say, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm concerned, is so vital. it means so much. And I'm going to tell you why it means so much. Because a lot of the time, the woman will figure it out. Like, she really will know what she needs to do in each situation. She really will. But sometimes things just get so overwhelming until she needs a time to sit down, regroup, talk to somebody, lay on a shoulder, lay on a chest, or whatever, and just get that crap out. And then be able to even maybe sleep it off or whatever, and come up with, this is what I need to do. This is who I need to go talk to about this. This is what needs to happen in this situation. And it's like I said, it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you don't have that. Being this stoic, hard, whatever, unfeeling, that's not, first of all, it's not masculinity, and it's not what a woman needs. A woman needs acknowledgement. A woman needs to be able to feel like she can be vulnerable enough with you that you're not going to tell her you being emotional, or you need to suck that shit up, or you need to stop crying, or why are you crying, or what's wrong with you. Like, I'm going to tell you honestly, with me, if you tell me any of those aforesaid things that I just said, I'm more than likely going to close up, and I'm not going to tell you nothing no more. Like, for real. I'm not, because I'm not going to feel like I can. I'm going to feel like you dismissing me. I'm going to feel like you don't want to hear me. And I'm going to feel like, me, myself, I'm going to feel like I'm burdening you. You don't want to hear me. You don't want to talk to me. And you don't give a damn. That's how I'm personally going to feel. Every woman going to feel differently. But me, myself, that's how I'm going to feel. And so I'm never going to come to you again with anything. I'm just not. Anything you have, babe, what's wrong? What's going on with you? Nothing. I'm all right. I'm good. Like, I'll figure it out. I'm okay. That's me. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I need to fix that. Maybe I need to talk to my therapist about, like, I don't know. But that is me personally. That's what I'm going to do. And literally, yeah, I'm going to shut down. Wow, that was loud. So I literally am going to close off, and I'm going to really, that's not going to be good, because I have been there before and I know what happens. And when I'm in that type of situation and I respond like that, then I just continue to keep closing up. I really do, until my feelings are done and shut off, and I don't even really feel nothing for you no more. And I don't want to be there no more. Like, I'm just being honest. That's just me. But that is also why it is so important for relationships that you keep some type of open line of communication. You have to make it that your partner, your female partner, is able to be vulnerable to you, with you. Men, you're going to get sick doing that. Holding in emotions, not showing feelings, trying to be this hard, whatever. I'm a man. You can be a man and still show emotions. If the woman that you're with will not allow you to show emotion, will not allow you to be soft and vulnerable sometimes, you probably don't need to be with her, because literally she's going to suck your life out. Because you're going to keep thinking that, oh, I need to be a brick wall. I got to be strong. I got to be whatever. And then when you finally ever do show emotion and she ridicules you, or she makes it seem like a bad thing, or you a simp, you a punk, you a whatever, then you're going to be pissed. Then you're going to be mad. Then you're not going to ever want to open up and share with her again. Also, because that's another thing that I have heard from men. Oh, well, we can't be vulnerable with no woman, because if you be vulnerable with a woman, they're going to throw it in your face. That's the wrong woman. That is all that is. That is the wrong woman. That don't mean you should not be vulnerable. That don't mean you shouldn't open up. That don't mean that you gotta be stoic and hard and what. That mean you with the wrong woman. More than likely she too young. And this is coming from an older woman, because she don't know how to handle those emotions either. She has not realized yet and lived enough life to realize that you're going to go through all kinds of stuff all the time. And that stuff got to be expressed. That stuff got to get out. She wants you to be Mr. Super Masculine, hard, strong. That's a false sense of who a man is. A real man cries. A real man shows emotions. A real man loves. A real man is expressive. A real man gives gifts. We coming up on Valentine's Day, y'all. I mean, is it men out there that's really thinking that, oh, if I get soft and, buy her some candy or buy her some flowers or take her on a trip or take her to a run, I'm being soft. I'm falling into this lovey-dovey, all this fake stuff. Like, I don't want to do that. I've actually had men tell me, this was some years ago, I had a man tell me that there ain't no romance. Ain't no such thing as romance. That's some Greek Roman shit, and that's just da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, dude, at that time I didn't know any better. I didn't know. But I know now that, I understand that the word romance comes from somewhere. I understand the whole concept of Cupid and the whole, I get that. I know it comes from this Roman mythology. I know that. But still, what's wrong with giving your wife some roses? What's wrong with giving the person you love, showing them that you care about? What's wrong with that? If you don't want to get flowers and candy, do something else. Just be a good, decent person all the time. How about that? But there's nothing wrong with giving gifts. There's nothing wrong with being kind and gentle and soft. There's nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody telling you to go around with, with a flower basket and some rose-colored glasses, skipping through, the flowers, skipping through the field, and that's just how you are now. No one's saying that. I mean, a lot of times these emotions and these feelings and situations and things like that come up are for a time. She's not asking you to do that all the time. I'm going to cut the video off, y'all, because y'all probably can hear that. I don't know what they're doing out there. There is no construction that I know of, so I don't know what in the world they're out there doing with all that noise. Forgive me. But yeah, I hope y'all get it. I really hope y'all get it. I may come back with another video, because there was another topic I want to talk about on toxic masculinity, and how so many men get mad at that and say that it does not exist. It absolutely exists. It absolutely exists. But because you don't like how it makes you feel, you want to say it don't exist. Toxic masculinity is a thing, a very real thing. And I might come back with a video maybe today or another day soon and talk about that. But I don't know what's going on out here in my parking lot. You guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit all notifications. Please like the video, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Until the next video, I'll see you next time.